40.
39.
Number 1.
39.
38.
37. 36.
35.
34.
33.
32.
31.
30.
29.
28.
27.
26.
25.
24.
23.
21.
20.
19.
18.
17. 16.
15.
14.
13.
12.
11.
10. 9. 8.
7. 6. 5.
4.
3.5.
3.
2.
1.
Hey, Rocky, you want to see me pull a show out of my hat? Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Good evening and welcome to the Mouthwash Talk Show, a minty, fresh take on politics. And wow, I mean, if you've seen any of our shows in the past of burning the bridges of Madison County, I labeled this one Fixing the Bridges of Madison County because we have some of the complainers about Madison County on tonight that are running for office claiming they're going to fix Madison County. So we have our illustrious panel. I see Lucy and Brad, Tiffany. Hopefully Tiffany pops on there. But we got a good show for you tonight. And this whole week, we have stuff. So I hope you were able to catch Say It Out Loud with Cassie. I actually shared that to a little bit more of our platforms. We were basically talking about my representative in the House here who refuses to speak to me in 5 years. So you want to go back and catch that because Cassie doesn't care what party you're in. If you ain't doing it right, she's going to say it out loud. So you can check that out. And then also we have coming up this Friday, we have our stock market neophytes. And man, the market's been really fun and interesting. That's with my friend Gary. And we'll be live at noon. We recap the week of stocks. And it's wild. This is earnings week coming up, so you want to tune in for that. But also on Friday at 7:30, we got a show coming up here for you. The Jamie Rittenhauer for governor has contacted us about doing a show with some other podcasters, and we're going to have our little debate. Hopefully we'll do better than John Schwannis did tonight at the debate. It seemed like he was getting booed and everything else. So, hey, say a prayer for me that I don't ask dumb questions. So that's always a possibility with me. But I'm going to go ahead and play this preview to that show coming up for this Friday at 7:30. It's exclusive. Only going to be seen here. Well, it's going to be seen on the other guy's podcast too. So here you go. Here is that preview for that show. And then we're going to have Lisa on the other side that's running for commissioner in District 3 up in Madison County. Let's see how she's going to fix the bridges in Madison County. All right. Hopefully you'll be able to tune in to see that. Let's get you straightened out here. Oh, there we go. Now I put you on the big screen. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. So Lisa, welcome to the Mouthwash Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, I'm just going to ask a question here. Then we're going to bring the panel on, and then you better, put on your big britches because they're going to bring some questions. They're a lot nicer than they look sometimes. So, Lisa, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from, I lived by Elwood, graduated from Frankton High School, graduated with a degree in dental hygiene, worked as a dental hygienist for 20 years here in Madison County. And then my passion's always been interior decorating and design. And so in 2013, I retired from hygiene, started my own business, Interiors by Lisa Rinker. And as luck would have it, Community Long-Term Care was looking to do a renovation on one of their buildings. And so they hired me as an independent contractor and a project manager. And I did that project in 2014. And then they hired me full-time as their project manager, and we completed 7 major renovations in their buildings. My husband and I, John, live east of Alexandria on a grain and livestock farm. We started that farming operation from the ground up. We have 2 adult grown children, son-in-law and grandson Rinker. And I've served on the Alexandria Community School Board for 13 and a half years, very active in the Madison County 4-H program. Currently one of the co-directors for the Queen Pageant, very active in Indiana, Madison County and Indiana Farm Bureau, a lot of community activities. So that's just a little bit about me now. Of course,
Is this your first time for running for office other than the school board? Because, you know,
it is. It is.
But
yes.
I think you answered the question I was going to ask, why are you going to run? Because you've already done everything else. It's just a natural next step for you to come up to do this. Yeah, this is good. So we had Bethany Keller on our show before, and she ran for commissioner, and she actually won. She was on our show. Some people don't do as well on our show. I got a feeling you're going to do great. I have a feeling you're going to do great.
Bethany ran for county council.
Oh, county council. What's the difference?
Yes. So county commissioner is the executive branch of the government. There are 3 county commissioners. We oversee the infrastructure, bridges, roads, buildings. We do bids, negotiate the contracts. We oversee departments and supervise department heads. We appoint people to the boards. The county council is the fiscal body, so they take care of the money in the county.
Yeah, all these county things are a little different than Marion County. We got a whole different brand of corruption government down here. Well, that's good. That answered the question for the other person running for commissioner who's coming on directly after you. But yes, we're going to get this panel out here, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring them on. I'm going to bring on Lucy for Liberty First. Lucy, hold on, let's get us here. We got to get this here right. So, okay, Lucy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing incredible. We've got lots of rain, maybe no more cold snaps until Mother's Day. I don't know. We'll see. I planted about 30 pawpaw trees and I haven't killed them yet. So it's a success.
I planted 2 rows of corn yesterday, but I wanted to say before I have my chirp, because Lisa, I have an interior design and graphic design degree from Ball State. So you're a kindred spirit in this interior design and things, but I'm a bricklayer. So I basically I get to design some stuff every once in a while, but nothing interior, mostly outside things. So let's go ahead and bring on Brad. He's one of your constituents, so be nice to him. Maybe he'll vote for you. I mean, he's a Democrat, but hey.
Oh yeah, no, I like Republicans. I'm surrounded by Republicans.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't like Republicans, I'd be very lonely, I guess.
Yeah, well, you are the lone Democrat, so
yeah.
Apparently that's what's happened there. So Brad, how are you doing tonight? Have your White Sox statistically out of the playoffs yet?
Probably. I get it's pretty demoralizing. I'd rather not just talk about that.
Okay, we'll skip.
Well, no. I went to Ball State too, though. I graduated from the Teachers College, which, apparently indoctrinated me to spread Marxism to young people, and I follow the 56 communist rules or whatever, according to the Purple for Parents ladies. So,
well,
but onward and upward, you guys.
They're going to be burning a cross in your front yard now for that comment. All I got to say is, were you on quarters or semesters?
Oh, we were on semesters.
Yeah, I'm so old. We were on quarters, which I never understood that. But now Lisa's shaking her head like, you went to Ball State.
Yeah, I did. I did my prerequisites for dental hygiene school, Ball State, and we were on quarters.
Okay, yeah, you just dated yourself. So it's okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Lucy, where'd you go to college?
So I went to IUPUI. It was just like an extension of high school. It was awesome.
Yeah,
you live at home with your parents, you go downtown and go into school and then go back home.
And then you come out not in debt. That's a great policy.
Well, yeah, I did manage to get a few scholarships, so that was good. But my children went to IU. So
okay, yeah, there you go. The Hoosiers, the hurrying Hoosiers. All right, so let's see. Let's get to it here. Let's get to some questioning. I think Lisa did a very good job explaining what she does, and she's very involved in the Madison County. So, Lucy, you fire away.
My first question for you, Lisa, is what can you do in the position that you have to help Madison County and Hoosiers by extension be more free and have more individual liberty?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think we have to have our voices heard. So we can't be free unless we have our voices heard. So in Madison County, that isn't happening at the current time. I started attending commissioner meetings, and there was an issue that I was passionate about with the Lona Buller project, and started going to commissioners meetings, then council meeting, planning commission. But at the commissioners meetings in particular, there was nowhere on the agenda for the community to speak. They just have, and there still isn't. They have silenced our voices.
Wow.
So, and then they give, during commissioners meeting, they give very little information. First of all, you don't have the agenda at the door when you walk in, which I think is critically important that you have that. You have to get the agenda and print it off yourself online.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that, you just sit there without a agenda. So there are things like that if we want to truly be free, we have to have our voices heard. We have to be able to speak up, and this silencing of voices just doesn't work. And that's actually one of the big reasons that I decided to run, was because after I sat at those commissioners meetings, and there's nowhere for me to speak and no other citizen. And the thing is, I've always said, most of the time, no one will go to the podium and speak. But the fact that you can't sends up a red flag that there's something you don't want me to know. And then when you're going through your course of your business and you're not disclosing numbers and specifics about agenda items, and they just read the agenda, no discussion, and we just make a motion, make a second, and vote 3-0. I just have a problem with that.
That sounds like the old HOA that I was in. You couldn't stand up, you couldn't do anything. They didn't care. There was no agenda. But I'll tell you what, when the time came to vote for the landscaper that was there, buddy, to get the contract that was overpriced, yeah, that's what happened.
Democracy in action.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Exactly.
It's a great policy till you say something. And
you can't expect. You cannot expect people to just stand by and watch that time after time after time and not do something about that. And if we want to do something about it, right now, everyone can be voting, and certainly vote on May 7th if they want. And I've said this, my slogan, my whole entire campaign: a voice for change, a voice for you. So I am committed to being a voice for the citizens of Madison County. This is where I'm born and raised, and John and I've raised our family, grandkiddo. So I care about Madison County in the future. And if we don't do something, we've got to step out. And as I said the other night at our town hall meeting, Devin and myself have been hosting town halls. We actually have our 6th one tomorrow night in LaPel, but we've already had 5 across the county. And I said the other night, it's incredibly difficult to run for a public office. You are putting yourself out there, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, financially. It's a big commitment, but you have to be passionate about what you want to see happen. And we've got to make a change in Madison County. We can't just let this be status quo.
So how many people are running in District 3? How many others?
There are 2 of us running in District 3. I'm running against John Richwine. He is an incumbent. He has already served on as a commissioner for 20 years. So he has filed for his 6th term. So that will be 24 if he is successful. But he's also served 8 years on the county council. So he elected. So he will, when ultimately, if he is reelected, he will complete 32 years of service. And I truly believe that, and there's a lot of talk right now about term limits, and it's not just at the federal and state level, it's right here in our own county.
Hey, maybe it's time for him to retire. Is that what you're is that your campaign is to help him retire?
Yes, because I think what's happened is I think it feels to me like it's power and control. And I believe that he's probably been in for so long that you get complacent. My passion right now, I'm enthusiastic and I have a lot of passion for what I'm doing. And I'm sure with anything, in a job or no matter what you're doing, the longer you're in something like that, maybe your passion dwindles a little bit. Sometimes a lot.
There's no doubt. It's I used to have cows, and when I had them for 20 years. And the first time I was having calves and stuff, I was so excited. But by the time 20 years was up, I wasn't that excited about having these calves. But it was still fun, but it just wasn't the same excitement. As I hate to bring down cows by comparing them to politicians. Sorry. Brad.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, we have cows here on our farm, so that's okay.
We have time for one more question for you, then we got to get on to our next guest. But Brad, go ahead. Fire up that question.
Well, so like how Lisa, how accessible would you say the current commissioners are then? Like, I mean, I know that they probably don't share things at the meetings, but do they engage, in the time in between where you can email them ideas or hopefully call them and have a conversation or anything?
Well, let me just tell you, I'm a prime example of what that accessibility feels like. About a year ago, there was an opening, position opened up on the BZA. I was interested in that position. And I reached out to Commissioner Richwine and Commissioner Likens to see what I needed to do to apply for that position. I did not hear from Commissioner Richwine. I did to Commissioner Likens, she did answer my phone call and gave me information. It wasn't the information that I really needed because I was eligible to, I was told I was of the wrong party, but I really was eligible to apply. And so I just went ahead and sent my cover letter in and my resume. And then I didn't hear anything, not even a thank you so much for your cover letter and your resume. We'll give this proper consideration. I got nothing. And then at this commissioners meeting, they just voted and put someone in. So when you're talking, Brad, about accessibility, in my opinion, there isn't. I mean, there may be some people that they have accessibility to commissioners, but I think it depends on who you are. The door to the commissioners office.
There's not enough people being listened to.
There absolutely is not, Brad. No, I mean, I think that's what's happening right here in Madison County. I think the people that we have are running, and we are working so hard. Talk about boots on the ground. Well, Devin and I have been walking since last November after the general election in the city, and we're talking.
I've been seeing a lot of signs. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of signs.
So we're doing. I don't know anything else I could do, honestly. I'm working as hard as I can.
So we're gonna end this up with the magic 8 ball because I want to, we're gonna do this. So is Lisa gonna win her race? I mean, now this is very unofficial. I don't know if I should do this or not. Let's see what it says. Don't count on it. Oh well.
No,
we'll see about that.
You know what, John? If the people in Madison County want that 8 ball to not be actual, they need to get out and vote. They've got to go vote.
It's just
you got it from a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's right. This thing came from Cracker Jacks. But no, your enthusiasm will surely defeat the 8 ball. So hey, everybody, go out and vote for Lisa if you're in Madison County. Even you, Brad. Come on. Let's go.
I'm not falling for it, John. No, I'm not.
Okay.
That's okay, Brad. You don't have to vote for me. Just your support.
No. I mean, come November, we'll see then. But yeah,
there you go.
That's right. All right. Well, hey, thanks, Lisa. We will, as soon as I can find you down here, I'm going to take you off. We're going to add our next next guest here. So thank you, Lisa.
All right.
You've
Thanks
been
so
wonderful.
much, everybody.
I love your enthusiasm and good luck. Don't listen
Thanks.
to that Magic 8 Ball. Maybe it'll be better to Devin. I don't know.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks so much.
All right, guys, that was fun. I almost should have done the 8 Ball because, sometimes it says that, but I don't really think it has anything to do with anything, but it's just fun times to see.
Oh, yeah.
That on that. So, hey, we got another county commissioner. I don't know which district, but we can find out from him. But I think that was good. She laid the groundwork for what we're talking about tonight and what's in store for him up there. So we got another guest coming on here. Let's see Devin. Let's do Devin. Okay, Devin, let's try to get this right how we had it before. Is that how we had it before? No. There we go. We want it all to be the same pair. So, Devin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Devin?
Just fine as frog hair split 3 ways.
Hey, that Magic 8 Ball, I think it's broken for sure.
Let's do it right now. Let's get it out of the way.
Do it right now.
Devin going to win? Signs point to yes.
Well, Lisa and I are a team, so that means we're both going to win.
Okay, well, we got 50% there. That's good. But so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name's Devin Norick. I'm an attorney in Anderson. I got a general practice here. Born and raised in Madison County. I'm a byproduct of Anderson. Both of my parents, well, my dad was born and raised here. My mom and him met in college at AU. They got married. They've had 5 kids. So I'm the third of 5. I went to LaPel High School, graduated from there, went to Anderson University, and then from there I went to Indiana University, Robert H. McKinney School of Law in Indianapolis, or as Lucy called it, IUPUI.
Pooey pooey.
Yeah, Pooey, which is no more. But so I went to Robert H. McKinney School of Law, came back as soon as I graduated and passed the bar. My father was elected judge in Madison County in Circuit Court 5, and I took over the practice that he had built 20 years ago. And it was a sink or swim moment for me. The practice is doing, by the grace of God, better than it's ever done. So it's a general practice. We do a lot of family law, estate planning. It's truly a general practice. I'm very involved in the public defender's office for child and needed services cases in Madison County. We have the 3rd highest amount of foster kids in the state. We also send the 3rd highest amount of people to prison per year. So we are not doing well in a lot of categories. But my wife and I, we have a farm, or a small hobby farm here in Anderson at 16 acres. And we've got some goats and horses and dogs and stuff. And so we're expecting our first child in September of this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, go for September 13th. I'm
14th. The 14th.
No, 13th.
Are you 14 and he's 13?
I'm 13. I was 13 on Friday the 13th.
Expected date is the 25th. I don't know how they know that.
We're coming early. We're gonna go the 13th.
They lie.
Yeah, well, yeah. So
what were you doing? What were you doing on New Year's Eve? Because New Year's Eve,
I think it was Christmas, John.
Okay, well then, you're definitely going.
I'm almost certain it was Christmas time.
Okay, well then it's going to be the 13th because 40 weeks is exactly New Year's Eve. The 14th.
For yours,
Lucy. She's like New Year. Yeah, that's what it is. So it's September between 10 and 4. That's 40 weeks. So bang, there you go.
You've checked into this, John.
Oh yeah. Well, I had to do my birthday. I had to figure it all out. So
for sure.
I don't want to know anything about that.
No, you know what? I got a question for you though. I don't want to take that too much of the show here, but I was looking through your pictures to, get a picture on there, and I saw you were out in Salida, Colorado.
Oh yeah.
Now, are you familiar with the Barry and Suzanne Morphew case?
I am. Oh, is that the one?
You're on a bridge. You're on the bridge, and it shows the mountain with the S back there. So, yeah. So, are you familiar with that?
I've heard about the case. I've not read too much into that, but I know about that. My mother-in-law is very familiar with it and had to tell us all about it while we were out there.
All right. Well, I just want to say that I had an altercation with the Barry Morphew on a job site. So it was
really.
Oh yeah. So that's why I recognized that Salida. I thought you might have been out there for the search when we were searching with Suzanne's brother in September of that year. So anyway, this is a show about the
I
politics.
do want to state for Brad, I hiked Mount Democrat and conquered Mount Democrat. So that did happen, Brad. So I apologize.
well, maybe you could. But now, are you guys running against any Is there any Democrats involved in this county?
So in Lisa's race, there is not at this time. Obviously, the party chair for the Democrats, Terry Austin, could appoint somebody. Whoever wins my election between myself and my opponent in District 2. Lisa's District 3, I'm District 2. So District 3 is the north, District 2 is the middle, and District 1 is down south. But whoever wins our race will then have to run against Ollie Dixon from Anderson, who's filed to run in District 2.
Okay, yeah. So trying to keep track of it. So we're going to let the hometown boy here ask the first question. Brad, go ahead.
Well, all right. So Devin, when Lisa kind of explained it, how does everything just need to be turned around? Like, what is your guys' first step that you would take when you get elected, I guess?
So a few days ago, I did an interview with Community Lens. The question she asked was, what is your intentions for the first 100 days? I think first 100-day picture for the Madison County Commissioner. First of all, Lisa and I both realized we both need to win to really make an impactful difference, since it's a caucus of 3 to be able to, you need at least 2 to make a vote happen. And so we both understand very much so that we both need to win this election. And that's why we've been working so hard together. We've walked well over 2,000 doors at this point, called probably double that. And we'll send multiple countywide mailers, and we've put out together probably 1,000 signs. But to answer your question, Brad, first things first is bringing public comment back to the commissioner's office, possibly moving one of the meetings to the evening, because right now you've got 2 times a month. They meet at 10 a.m. Not a very accessible time for a lot of people that work a regular 9 to 5. And so maybe moving one of those meetings to the evening around 6. We also would like to, with the public comment, we want to make it more accessible to the people. I mean, John, we're on here on, Yardstick, and you're on Facebook and YouTube streaming this service. There's no reason that we shouldn't have more accessibility for social media for the commissioner's office. It's kind of a statutory requirement anymore for accessibility, but even for the ability for people to be able to comment. I'm looking over here and I can see the comments of people commenting, to create just more an atmosphere, at least, especially since post-COVID, where, people want to stay inside sometimes and they don't want to come to meetings, but they want to still be present and they still want to be a part of that. So really creating an accessibility from that standpoint. I know this county.
Well, we know it's possible. Like, we've all done
You're doing it right now, John. I'm sure it didn't cost.
Yeah, I am not that smart, so don't let them tell you it's hard.
Yeah, they've spent tens of thousands of dollars on the IT stuff for the county, for the website and the accessibility for online. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's just not that good. The quality that I'm seeing right now in the audio is better than what we have right now. And so I think that easily for cheap, you could do better. And that's just something in the first 100 days we'd really like to do. Obviously, the jail project is a huge thing that Lisa and I want to tackle. I mean, we're over $110 million, and that's just a lot of money to be spending on a jail. So that's also something in the first 100 days, Brad. But basically,
is it more of a problem of incarceration? Like, you guys, I think somebody had mentioned the
number 3.
Yeah, we send the third highest amount of people to prison, which doesn't include jail. But no, we're well over capacity as it is right now. If how the jail is sectioned to be, if we opened it today, we'd be well over 80% full. If
we opened a new jail today?
If we opened the new jail that's proposed right now with about 500 beds, with the classification issues, we'd be about full, because at the Madison County Correctional Complex, or MCCC, I know it's not, Brad.
I'm going to drive fast up 69 when I go that way. I'm not going to. I'm going to drive the speed limit. I don't want to end up in the jail.
Right.
Well,
so what's happening right now?
Well, what do you mean?
They just turning away people
for what? In the jail?
Well, yeah.
Capacity wise, is it?
Well, there's been a lot of catch and release programs. They've redone the bonding schedules multiple times because of the overcrowding issues that we have. There was they'll send out, how many people are in the jail, how many people we have in other counties, how many people are at MCCC. All the people that are at MCCC, a lot of them should be in the jail. They're classified to be in jail, but we don't have the space. And so that's why, for me as an attorney, I'll be honest with you, Madison County has a mental health problem. We have a drug epidemic here in Madison County that we've not figured out. We divest, and this is something that a lot of people don't know, but being a CHIN's PD for parents and having the third highest amount of foster kids in the state, millions and millions of dollars is poured into this county every year from the Department of Child Services. Now, whatever your opinion is of the Department of Child Services, I don't care, frankly, because all of these parents, 85% of them are dealing with drug addiction issues. And so we have to figure out how to alleviate that problem, address that issue, really tackle that issue. Because if we don't, we'll just continue down this same path where we have mass incarceration because of all of the dealing issue. And I'll be honest, conversations with the chief deputy prosecutor, they're not looking to put the people in jail and get all those people that are just on possession charges. But the amount of people they take out, monthly that are dealing drugs is preposterous. And, once they're in, if they can't make bail, then they sit in jail on level 3s and level 4s, which you're talking $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 bonds. And so these people sit until they get to trial, and trial, as an attorney, I know cases will sit 1, 2, 3 years. It just depends on everything that's going on when you're trying to work out plea deals. So we got a big problem here, and mental health is at the core of that problem for the drug epidemic that's going on in Madison.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Tiffany's got in here. She's late, but she's coming in, so I'm going to bring her in here. Let's see. Let's do it this other way here. There we go. Let's see how we're going to do this. All right. Let's put Devin there, me there. Okay. Hey, Tiffany, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. I apologize for being late.
Okay, but better late than never. So we're going to do 2 quick
Better
questions.
late than pregnant. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's throw that in there.
I didn't tell my wife that she's pregnant.
Yeah, Devin, congrats again. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna have a September 13th baby,
Congrats.
or the 14th, or the 6th.
Yeah, she was late, Tiffany, for sure.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, that's good. It'll be a nice fall surprise, or not a surprise. You already know.
We're excited. I'm ecstatic.
That'll be good. Well, you want to have a good Madison County for your youngin' to grow up in. So, so we're going to do 2 quick questions. So ladies, keep it quick. I'm going to let Lucy go first, and then Tiffany, you can go. And then, because we still got one more guest tonight, we got Catherine, who's patiently waiting. She actually won the drawing and let others go first. So that's the kind of servant she is. So go ahead, Lucy.
Well, I'm glad that he went to the better school, just like I did. But my question for you, Devin, is you are facing, a monumental problem. How do you change the culture of Madison County to be one where people aren't so desperate to escape their lives of desperation that they have to turn to drugs and abandon their children? I mean, I've driven through Madison County, and I just kept on going, and there was a reason I did. So what's your proposal?
So ultimately, it's got to be a multi-municipality approach. So the way that I've always talked about it is that Madison County, there's a pie. We'll call that pie drug issues or mental health issues that we have in Madison County. In each municipality, whether that be Frankton, LaPel, Ellick, Elwood, Orestes, Markville, Pendleton, Anderson, Madison County, and anybody that I left out, but Chesterfield. So all of those people have budgets that they put towards public safety, mental health, and different things. Now, for first things I'll say is that the state doesn't invest a lot of money in mental health anymore, but drug addiction is a mental health problem. You don't just voluntarily want to use something that could kill you very easily, other than if you have something that's going on that causes you to want to escape from something, or because something is painful or emotionally painful. And so it's a mental health problem. And I firmly believe that. And so I think that you have to take a collective approach. There's a lack of collaboration going on in Madison County. And if you want to tackle problems, you need to work together. Just as the 5 of us are sitting here, I think that we could come up with some pretty decent proposals when it comes to how do you address mental health and what kind of investment do you need to do in that in the community. And so when you look at Madison County as a whole, we have a lot of municipalities that spend a lot of money. The county spends $40+ million a year on their budget. Anderson does $40+ million. So you're talking $100 to $120 million every year that's revenue funded for different things. And so if you could figure out a way with how money is budgeted to really invest more money in mental health services and public safety services and different services like that, that could make a benefit. I think that working as a collective, you could save money and have a greater impact if you work together, because every community in Madison County is dealing with the same issues. My DCS cases that I have, and I probably have almost 150 to 200 cases right now. I mean, it's an audacious amount of cases that I have. And there are 5 other public defenders that work with me that have similar numbers, if not more cases than I have. And so I know that those parents don't all come from Anderson. Okay. Like, I know that for a fact. And I know that these kids that get displaced because their parents have drug addiction or substance abuse issues, we have to do more as a community because, and let me just be frank with people. I know that a lot of people that are in the chat, a lot of people on here, we're not struggling with drug addiction. Okay. I get that. I don't struggle with that addiction. Okay. And I understand that. And I'm not saying that some of these people haven't helped create the circumstances that they're in today, but they become a burden on society. And so we have to figure out how can we help these people up, okay, so that they don't continue to be a burden on society. And I'm not, gospeling for, like a social program that's going to like, give people the ability to continue to use drugs and we'll give them free stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we have to somehow figure out how to help people out of their circumstance and give them opportunities. And Madison County's not done a good job of that. We don't have a lot of economic opportunity out here. We're still looking at silo way of thinking. Industrial is the way forward. And it's just not anymore. We have to be looking at commercial and small business and tech business, things that create a small footprint, large incomes, large revenues, and they bring good tax value to the county that we can then invest in our communities.
Yep. Oh, that's, you should be running for governor. But
no, thank you, John.
Lucy. Yeah, I watched the debate tonight. That was tough. Lucy, that was supposed to be a simple question. You got 1 reprimand. So go ahead.
I also could have answered that.
Yeah.
Shorter.
So everybody give you a short leash. Sure. Yeah. You're on double secret probation and your pay has been cut in half. Okay. So
we're getting paid.
Nobody gets paid here. Raise your hand if you're getting paid. It's like we do it for the goodness of
I take donations.
Yeah, you need we're all in need of donations for sure. So Tiffany has actually one office. So she's a Fisher's Town Council member. Yeah, she's loving that.
I am. So, thank you, John. I'm excited, and we are the city of Fishers. We're a city of 103,000 people.
That's almost as many as Madison County in total. For the record, we have 130,000.
150,000 if you count the cows.
Yeah. And the smaller cities in Indiana, they are very interesting. So we had our Fishers GOP meeting tonight, and we had Speaker Houston and Kyle Walker come, and they talked about legislation that's been passed and kind of the state of Indiana. And Devin, I appreciate you running. And so tell me, I always want to know, how does it look? When you think about your race, how does it look? Because it's apparent that you have wonderful ideas and that you're in a great situation to positively impact the folks in your county.
So you mean like how it's looking? Like,
how is your race looking? Yeah.
Well, I play from behind, Tiffany. I'm not going to act like I'm in front. I'd rather act like I'm 10 points behind and we got to keep working. What I know is that Lisa and I have been working really hard. We've been walking since the municipal elections were over last year. We've walked well over 2,000 doors at this point. We've called probably double that. I'll probably send out 3 full mailers to the entire county. We've sent out different private mailers to different individuals. I've raised well over $30,000 for my election. And don't get me wrong, we've spent every penny of that on this election. And that's with me. I ran for county council 2 years ago, lost by 3 votes.
Wow.
And I took 500 small signs and 50 large signs and remodeled every single one of those to save money. So we look for every way that we can penny pinch around here. But I think that it's going really well. I think that Lisa and I, in the conversations that we've had in the community, people want to feel like their voice is being heard. And people also resonate with the idea that there need to be term limits even locally, because and Lisa put it away. I'd put it a different way about county politics here. They've become stagnant. Because when you've been in office for multiple decades and it's just like not a challenge for you to get reelected, you become stagnant in your way of thinking. And so I've made a campaign promise, and you guys know how those go, but the 4 of you can hold me accountable to this, and the other 4 billion people I've told this. But if I get elected, I won't run more than 2 terms for this job. I have a very successful legal practice. I am very involved in my church at Life Church Pendleton. there are just so many other things. And I've got kids on the way. There are just so many other things that I want to invest my time in, but I have a lot of ideas that I want to invest in this community. And so 2 terms is all they're going to get out of me for commissioner. And then I hope someone can come up and then get involved and bring more fresh ideas to Madison County. Because 40 years ago, Tiffany, Madison County was a far cry nicer, wealthier, and better than Fishers and Hamilton County as a whole. Well, that's just, I'm just talking economics.
Delco, Remy, they had all sorts
I mean,
of
it really was. It was the place to be. Delco, Remy left. I mean, Hamilton County has quadrupled, you know, in the last 10 years, and they'll double again in the next 20. Yeah. And so it's just a very incredible thing. I don't think people in Madison County necessarily want to look like Hamilton County because it's a way different way of thinking over here that I even agree with, but we've got to work more towards economic development stuff. So to answer your question, things are going really well, Tiffany.
I love how you're talking about Madison County, because I used to work in pharmaceutical sales, and I used to go up to Anderson quite a bit, and you know, just really love the people, love the community, and definitely
Amen.
could see that it was economically depressed. And I just remember like when Fishers got IKEA, and I was like, IKEA should be in Anderson. You know, it's a destination. It's like, wow, it should be there.
Hey, we're getting a Chick-fil-A, Tiffany.
Yeah, that's great. I
Oh,
think
wow.
that you guys need to blast a hole in the ground and make a reservoir. And, you need water, and you need an amazing concert venue, and people will flock to Madison County like you'd never, ever, ever imagine.
Yeah, the reservoir idea, that's coming. That kind of comes and goes. Every interview that I give, someone brings up the reservoir, and I'm like, listen, if they want to look at a reservoir, I'll look at a reservoir. But I know that the issue's always been, where are you going to put it?
It's flat and
you guys need a beach. For me, living in Hamilton County, I would love for Madison County to be a destination where people in like Marion County and, you know, Indianapolis and other places, they're like, where are you going? It's like, oh, we're going away for the weekend. And they're literally just going to like Madison County and having
come to Mountain State Park.
Yeah, that's right.
There's history here. Listen, there's so much history in Madison County. It's just in the last 40 years, things have changed so much that a lot of that's gotten lost in the weeds. And I think that there's still so much going on in Madison County. You know, whether a reservoir ever comes to fruition or not, I don't really, you know, for me, it's like I have to focus on like the small things first because we have so many issues, because a project like a reservoir would take, you know, in Madison County anyways, they've been talking about a jail for 10 years, and you've seen how costs have gone from 40 million to 110. So I'm sure if they started talking about a reservoir, it costs us $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, there's a big difference here. People want to go to a reservoir, not to a jail. So this is going to end your part of this thing. And, you know, our next guest is Catherine Callahan. And, you know, Devin, I think that, you know, we've had 3 installments of burning the bridges in Madison County. And our next guest, who was running for coroner in the caucus. She was running for that. Right. And she gave me something that was quite funny that I'm going to show you when we bring her on. But we're going to have small talk. It doesn't have as much to do with your stuff here, but it does talk about planning of a city and things. So let's get to that. And Devin, you're quite knowledgeable. So far, I've been very impressed with you and Lisa. And I love the fact that you're running together, because that sort of shows that, you know, you already have somebody to work with when you both win, even though the Magic 8 Ball only gave you 50% on the thing. I mean, we're going to do it to Catherine too. So we'll see where that goes. But hey, let's watch Small Talk, and then we're going to bring Catherine on at the end. All right.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mark Small. This is Small Talk. Whether you're talking about Marion County, where Indianapolis is located, Madison County, where Anderson is, or any of the other counties in the state that have sizable cities or towns, when you talk about elected public officials, you're talking to a great degree about officials that are going to be planning some kind of growth or construction in a community. Now, it used to be that was something like the private market took care of. And sure, there were zoning regs and stuff, but now here in Indianapolis, for example, we just basically hand land and money away to somebody and they build stuff. There doesn't seem to be any long-range comprehensive plan here. When I moved here in '86, I was kind of struck by how vacant downtown was after the end of the business day. And the reason was there really weren't that many places to live downtown. Then they started putting an emphasis on building things downtown and rehabbing neighborhoods and stuff, and it became very vibrant. But there have to be jobs there for people to work in. There have to be things to do to support the economy. The last couple of years, they decided to move the city county building out and give it away probably for development to some pal, and put things down at the new Criminal Justice Center on Southeastern Avenue. That really sucked jobs out of downtown. And the people who will sit in meetings and talk about all the meetings they've sat through, were you at any of the meetings we had? Well, don't complain. Why should we have to worry about that? It makes no sense to simply move where it is all around the county to build up buildings when there's no overall plan of what we're going to do. Now, I'm not against growth. I'm against pointless growth. We need to do some more planning. Until then, we shouldn't be writing so many checks. Mark, small talk.
All right. Oh, look at this. You actually came on in the right spot there, Catherine. And you've been on the show a couple times now, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. You got to unmute, Catherine. You got to unmute.
I've tried to be quiet here and sit patiently. As everybody knows, I talk a lot and I do a lot and I'm all over the place.
Well, I want to stop you right there because I'm still laughing about what you gave me the other day. So I don't know if anybody can see this, but this is a beer koozie. And Brad, you need one of these. You put your beer in there, but
I'm drinking Jarritos tonight.
Oh, that's a good drink. It would fit right in there too. So Catherine gives me this because if you remember, she ran for a coroner and they were storing the bodies in the beer cooler. So
we're still storing the bodies in the beer cooler.
Oh, well, there you go. I just thought this is a politician with a sense of humor right here. So I'm just still laughing about that. And so now, but you're not running for a commissioner. You're running for auditor. So first of all, welcome to the show and tell some of our viewers that may not know you a little bit about yourself.
So I am a doctorate prepared nurse practitioner. I own and operate my own practice in LaFell, Indiana. I have for over 10 years. I grew up on the east side of Indianapolis over in Oak Landon. Oleo Road used to be a dirt road, so I know a lot about the growth in Hamilton County. All of Hamilton Southeastern was in one building. I went to Lawrence North High School. And as life took me, it took me here. I graduated from Valparaiso University with my undergraduate degree, my master's of science in nursing and child women, and then my postgraduate as a family nurse practitioner. And then I graduated from the University of Indianapolis with my doctorates of nursing practice. So I've done my fair share of studies and I've done my fair share. I used to run the health programs over at Washington Township Schools there at North Central. I did that for 5 years in the vocational programs. So I've kind of done a whole lot of everything. If you look at my resume, and I'm MDI certified, which I'm a certified coroner in medical legal death investigations. And sometimes I'll help out Marion County when they need help. So I have, I do own homes in Hamilton County and I do own homes in Madison County. So I'm just kind of, a gypsy, I guess.
Well, you're a gypsy after Lucy's heart, I'm sure, because she's our show gypsy for sure. And there's no doubt that she has seeds and potions and things at her disposal at all times.
It's a full moon tonight.
And we love her for that. And so tell everybody what the heck's an auditor? I mean, what do you do? What are you doing?
Most of the people who have been watching me through the years, I've sat in county council meetings for the last 4 years. 2 of those years as the chief deputy coroner. I was sent to my seat many of times by the sheriff. I was gavelled to death. I was not able I wouldn't even get a word out and they're already gaveling me. I'm like, holy cow, I haven't even spoken, you guys. And so then we watched how Russ Willis came through and defunded the coroner's office to make sure, since we weren't his pick, that we could not survive without any funding. We were the office who was most affected by COVID and received 0 CARES Act money, 0 ARPA funds. We received absolutely no funding at all and then told us that we were crazy and spending way too much money even though we had tripled and almost quadrupled in the volume that we were doing. Even with those numbers, yes, I am doing more autopsies because we're doing more cases. But if you take it all the way out and percentage it out, I was only doing about 21% to 27% of autopsies, when the previous coroners were doing 40%. But see, we can't work the numbers all the way out. All we can do is look at the whole number. So, math seems to be a little difficult here in Madison County with some of our elected officials. So as we continue to move forward, the coroner ends up resigning. I go for the caucus, and we all know that Russ Willis controls all of the caucus members. And so I only get 7 votes. And the guy who runs against me, who left and quit the coroner's office while he was on call and a death scene was going on, ended up getting caucused in. Now, that's fine. I don't have any problems with that. I'm to each their own. We fast forward about 4 weeks after he's in his office, and they misidentify a body. I mean, this is great that we're not worried about doing the right thing. We're only worried about holding this power. And so I have sat patiently. And so people have asked me to run for county council. People have asked me to run for commissioner. And as I sat back and looked at everything, I probably would have run for coroner, but I've already been in the position where I was defunded. So running for county council, I really don't have control over who's going to get nominated. And right now, the swamp holds the majority of the votes. And so I'm not sure, who's going to win those seats. I'm hopeful who will. And Devin and Lisa are a perfect example. If both of them do not win, they will not hold the majority. So they will be pulling their hair out for 2 years until the majority is held, or until we run somebody in 2 years who can hopefully come and help them out. Now, with all that being said, as I sat back and I watched, I thought, you guys all thought this was real funny. I have watched you do misappropriations. I have watched you spend money that should not have been spent. I watch you do a budget every year, and department heads come in January asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, guess what? I've run a company. I have managed money. I have learned to live within my means. You continue to raise taxpayer dollars. You continue to brag about this huge rainy day fund. You guys have gone from a $30 million jail to now a $110.5 million jail. Do you know we pay more taxes than Hamilton County does right now because of all their frivolous lawsuits and all the craziness that's going on, that they get sued left and right all the time? And so my answer was, why can't we see any of this information? So in my first 100 days, I guarantee you all the books will be open for all the public to see, because several hundred heads are better than one head. And I hope that once I open those books, those council meetings and those commissioner meetings become so full that they demand answers, especially if any of these incumbents win their seats. They can answer to the people now. This is our money, not their money. And I'm sick of it.
So that was a long answer to a question of what the auditor is, but apparently you hold the strings to the purse, basically.
Hey, you want to find the problems? You follow the money.
Follow the money. That's right. They tell you if you want to know what's important to somebody, look at their calendar and their checkbook. So there you go. So let's get to these questions, because I try to be fair, give everybody about 20 or so minutes. So we'll start with Brad this time, since it looks like he's trying to make a question there.
I was just writing down
You want to go to the Magic 8? I'll give you a second. We'll go to the Magic 8 Ball for Catherine. So,
go ahead. Oh no.
All right, let's see that.
Oh God.
Most likely. Most likely.
Right,
so we got a definitely yes, a no, and a most likely. So there you go.
I've already won, just so you know.
Okay, there you go.
And I'll tell you why. Because I've educated the voters, and that's the win of all of it. Whether I win or lose is irrelevant. But what I have done is awaken a county with many other people. And that's the win.
You've been carrying the torch to burn the bridges of Madison County for a while now. And I do think that from an outsider's point of view, you definitely have gotten people educated, and they definitely have their eyes open to what's going on up there. And not only Madison County, but pretty much the whole state, because we have a pretty good following of people in Madison County that watch this show. We are up to 40 live viewers right now. And I know that's because of what's going on there and the effort that you and your people have made. So Brad, you have that question. You actually live up there, so you better have it.
No, I can't tell you how excited I am in the hopes that that scenario that she painted would come true. Like, just from a chaos standpoint, that would be beautiful. You know, and I feel like most governments or, you know, most agencies would really, I would like to see that happen everywhere. But with Mark Small and Small Talk too, we with the pointless growth, I guess he was talking about. Can you talk about Dollar Generals in
And
Madison County?
Alexandria,
Yeah, I think we're getting another
we're
one.
getting another one over by Tilly's.
Well, so like, how do you know? Like, okay,
How many do you have?
Too
we
many.
have two. Like, we don't. In the self checkout never works. I did a whole library program about Dollar Generals and just how they're a menace to the public. But I'm like, how are we getting another one? They just keep popping up. Is there any long term plans and whatnot? But you can answer that. But as far as like the whole
dollar
culture
store.
goes,
I like a good dollar store. I got solar
we've got
lights
like
for my
3 of them.
yard.
It's not a big town.
They're not
It's
a
not a big
dollar
town.
anymore, Tiffany. They're $5 stores.
That's $1.25. I got these solar lights for my yard. You just kind of stick them in the ground. I mean, the
Well, no,
dollar
I guess
store-
my question though is, how do you
Oh.
turn around the Republican Party with Russ Willis, and like how do you see
Ooh, good
that?
question. Good
How do you
question.
see that
So how do
evolving?
we turn around the Republican Party? Well, we have started that movement. So we have 111 precincts in Madison County, and there was a small group of people who came together. This has been tried many times over, but this time we have some new players on board, and you know, everybody's got to raise some awareness, and I guess that's kind of what I have done, is raise that awareness. And so we got one individual as a notary. For the last 2 years, we've been going around strategically finding precinct committeemen. We ran, so on that Friday before the poll, before they closed, who could turn in, our person walked in with 80 precinct committee applications.
Wow.
40 of those precinct committeemen are contested right now. If we win over half of those people, we will then be able to vote our Republican chair out.
And that happens
That's-
next March, right?
That's what happens next March. That is the big. So we have begun our movement here. There's a lot of people watching right now. There's a lot of people who have gotten involved with that movement. We have people who have never ever gotten this involved, and they had no idea. We have precinct committeemen out right now walking the areas, and people have said to them, "We've never seen a precinct committee member anywhere around here." And so we are finding ways to work our magic and to actually, I'm going to say it, cut off the head of the snake, because it needs to go.
Yeah.
So the only way to change is to take out the nucleus. And that's how we've got to change the whole structure. You know, all 3 candidates that you see here tonight, none of us are backed by the Friends of Madison County. None of us are backed by the Lincoln Club. None of us are backed by Russ Willis. We are all running. We are a faction team. That's what we are. And so we are hoping that this team does bring home the win. So we'll see what happens. But that is the beginning of where we're headed. And I tell you, you know, Lisa and Devin, they're going to be the same way. Complete transparency. Let's put it out there for the people. You know, my campaign is run on, I want your vote and I want your voice. Every single council meeting and commissioner meeting, you're not allowed to speak anymore. And now Lapel has picked up that same behavior. That negative darkness has been so infectious that they want you to vote for them, but then they want you to sit down and shut up. Well, you've picked the wrong girl, because she's not going away.
Yeah, we know you're not one to, don't put baby in the corner, as they say
Right?
in Dirty Dancing. So my wife Lisa says, sounds familiar, because I know in Boone County they're sort of, you know, having their own little tea party up there as well as throwing some people out. So Lucy, what kind of question coming from the libertarian that I think you like what you're hearing here? You like a little.
Oh man, everybody here has been really amazing, and the kind of people that live in the area, and obviously this is your community, right? So I guess I'm fascinated by the fact that you've done, you know, all of these autopsies, and you know, you worked in the beer fridge and
Out of the semi-trailer. I've done that too.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was just crazy. Exactly, that was just craziness. So where do you think, and I know you really can't do this as the auditor, but just on your personal level, where are you affecting public health? We talked with Derek about the drug problem leading to children being abandoned and ending up in CPS. How can you affect that?
So here's the thing. The great thing about Madison County, should I get into the auditor seat, is you get a double whammy. You get a 2-for-1 deal. I know healthcare and I know it well,
Yes.
right? So when this county went down for COVID, I was the only office for quite some time that carried the COVID tests. County was coming to me, city's coming to me, all these players are coming to me. I'm just a small independent practice over in LaPel, but I was servicing all these different areas in all the different communities. All the different towns in Madison County were coming to me because they couldn't get swabs anywhere. I never ran out, but the health department did. So the other thing is I'm going to love this whole situation because our health department is completely out of control. I will tell you, and I will say this right now, Stephanie Mellinger is the health administrator and needs to be fired on the spot. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it point blank. The fact that she has built a $900,000 pole barn with grant money to house a $500,000 RV that is only averaging anywhere from 0 to 5 people in a census day is absolutely ridiculous. When you spend that kind of money, you better show me the evidence that based the fact that you should have done that. Now, here's the news flash, because this was such a grand idea. In 2022, we were number 74 as being the worst, healthiest out of 92 counties. Okay. But she's got this grand idea. She obviously thinks we're in some very rural area. She goes and spends all this grant money. And do you know what we ranked last year? We're now number 85. Now, if her performance evaluation was to be done by me, guess what? You're done. You know what I can do? You know what kind of programs we can implement? You know all the things that we can do for this county? And all I hear is, well, the state didn't give me enough of this. Well, this, you know what? You got all that grant money. You should have bought more swabs because clearly I had enough in stock. So we're going to go down that road. And she has stood in health or in council meetings. And she says, if you think you can do better, if you can speak, well, here's the thing. I can't speak. I would love to speak, but then they sit me down. You can stand there and you can be guarded, but I got news for you. I do know how to do your job, and I will come and I will show you how to do your job because I will read every grant. You will make sure you're meeting it for the people, and you will make sure that you are doing things that will actually improve this county instead of pissing it away on a pole barn that sits there to store supplies. I'm over it. And that's just how I feel.
It sounds like you might be a little fired up about that.
I love you.
Oh, because I mean, this is healthcare.
Girl, fight the
you know, and here's the thing. If people choose, I mean, there's a whole team working against me. I mean, we're completely clear that the whole team's working against me. And here I'm going to tell you something else. I do believe people make mistakes. Everybody's had financial hardships. I've learned the hard way. Everybody's learned the hard way, right? I am running against a candidate who just finished close to over $500,000 to $1 million bankruptcy. Just finished that on a KOA, a Campgrounds of America. He has over 16 or 14 foreclosures on his My Case. People need to go to My Case. They need to look for their candidate. You people who have his sign in your yard and want to tell me what a nice guy he is, well, guess what? He's a nice guy. I'm never going to disagree that. But I'm going to tell you something. He clearly can't manage his own checkbook. Why on earth are you doing?
Hey, Catherine, you need to send him down to Marion County. He'll fit right in.
Well, there you go.
Tiffany,
well,
do you
if
have?
he wins, I win, right? Because this is going to be a disaster in the making because I don't know how you go and manage our tax dollars when you can't even manage your own. What made me so furious is that I noticed, they buy all these properties because they're in this government, so they know what's for sale. They buy all these things. Yep. He is collecting rent money off of people who are renting these places, but yet you fail to pay your property taxes. The property taxes are what we use in order to generate and keep going in our own community. So here's what would happen if we all quit paying our taxes. They would be
Lucy would be first in line on that. So, but Catherine, is this other guy? Is he running as an incumbent? Has he been the auditor before?
So here is his pitch. He is the most experienced person out of the two of us, and I just kind of laugh at experience. What exactly are you experienced at? Experienced at filling out forms for foreclosures and bankruptcies? or
Snap.
experience at doing your job. I don't know where the experience here comes from.
So is he the incumbent? Is
He
he?
is the chief deputy auditor.
Okay, so but the old auditor is quit.
So he's termed out. The auditor who's termed out is running against Devin.
Oh,
Now,
so he's gone from there to the commission. Okay.
Now
So
let's be mindful. Let's be mindful that we had a council meeting go in October for the new budget. Okay. They met with a couple of the council members and they were trying to put through a budget without all the council members agreeing on this, which violated open door law. So this ended up becoming a big standoff. So we ended up doing a council meeting until 1 a.m. in the morning. We agreed on, because we'd go through every line item, we agreed on what budget was going to be submitted. Do you know that Todd was the recorder for that whole thing with Rick, and they still submitted the original budget? And then when 3 of the council members went to find it, they go, Rick and Todd go, well, we don't know how that one got in there. Oh, okay. So that's the auditor you're getting. I mean, that's what you're getting. So if that's what you want, go ahead. This is the same guy when you fill out your canned form, for you to run for office. On the back of it says you must initial every section. Indiana code says you have to do this. Do you know that the election board took his check marks and said, no, it's okay, he can run. His intent was to put check or initials there, but because he put the check with the check mark, so it's okay. This guy gets up and he says, can you read my signature? Because he changed his name too. He's using his middle name instead of his legal name, right? And he's like, well, can you read that name? And I'm like, yeah, I certainly can see that it says Robert. I mean, I've been a nurse for forever, so I can read signatures. And so the people are looking at, as they're looking at it, he goes, yeah, you can't tell, can you? Just like you can't tell that those check marks aren't my initials. He's showing you this on video, and you people are actually okay with this behavior. And the fact that the election board and Russ Willis allowed this when he completely violated Indiana code, and even the ex-Senator Lannon was there as for the Democrats. He said, Catherine's correct. This is a violation of Indiana code. I have to vote with Catherine. And the other two said, and he's an attorney. And the other two go, no, we think his intent was there. It's okay. We're going to let him pass.
Well, it sounds like, you know, there's definitely enough information here that the good old boys doing the circular running for office may come to an end. So Tiffany, you have the last question for Catherine here. And I'll tell you what, she's fired up. So
I'm a little overwhelming. I know.
Hey, Tiffany, here's your challenge. Just see if you can get her really excited some more. I don't know if you can, but see what you can do.
Well, gosh, so much pressure. Catherine, I love your passion and intensity and your intent to improve where you live. And I think that that's the question that you have to ask a lot of voters is, you know, we live in Madison County. It is what it is. Are we happy, or do we want to see this get better? And if we want to see this get better, we have to make changes when we vote. If not, we're going to have more of the same. So, like, you know, I didn't hear the first lady, but you and Devin definitely have a plan and an idea of what Madison County can be. And I love that you have cracked the code on how to change your county. You've cracked the code. A lot of people don't understand the system and how they can make the system work for them. So congratulations.
And they don't understand the power of precinct committeemen. They do not understand the power of precinct committeemen.
That's where it all starts.
I mean, even Russ is running around now telling everybody, I found your vice PC. Oh, you need to slow your roll. The elected person who becomes the precinct is the one who will decide who the VPC is, not Russ. And people don't know that. They think that
he's saying that.
Now, if you're elected, or worse comes to worse, make it your wife.
Oh no! Let me tell you something. This even gets better. Let me tell you the latest scam. Okay, so you know we have 40 PCs that are contested. Okay, so say Tiffany are running against each other in a district. Okay, and Tiffany's with the swamp, and they want her, right? And they hate me, right? Mm-hmm. Well, they don't really know Tiffany very well. So what they're going to do is, because by unanimous vote, when they went to the election board, that they can use PCs in the voting polls, they're going to let Tiffany work inside her precinct poll. so she can introduce herself and say, how can I help you?
Oh, that's like some dirty
And so
pool.
I just want you to know there, Mr. Willis, because I know you're watching. If you think for 1 minute I haven't got a team out there that are going to have cameras going at all times, oh, they're coming. And I assure you, we're going to be hot and heavy on this.
I tell you what, just
Madison
since
County's ground zero.
yeah, just since Catherine's come on, we've gained 10 more live viewers. So you know, they want to come see. They want to come see John the Baptist out here in Madison County and see what, you know, wearing the camel hair and the, you know, and eating the locusts and whatnot.
Oh,
So
I did want to say, Catherine, when you talked about buying real, you said you own homes in Madison County. That's a really great place to buy real estate.
yeah, especially for Tiffany.
The price is right, and there's lots of renters. If you're looking for an investment, I sell real estate.
Right. So I
quit buying up homes in my county.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
at $70,000-$80,000, you should get two. So go ahead.
and here's the thing: I promised to pay my property taxes.
Yeah,
You know what? I loved what you said about that, because as an elected official, paying taxes, that is, you know what I'm saying? It's, there's things that we have to do, and I know
you want me to really.
Lucy knows. Lucy says that taxation is theft, but if you're part of the system, you believe that taxes make your community better, and if you don't pay your taxes, you're not fully participating.
No.
And you're a bit of a hypocrite. So
let me break this down to you. The person that Devin is running against, okay? He has now been doing this, maybe like, I don't know, 14, I don't know. He started out in the council, and when he did, he was behind like $60,000 on property taxes, okay? Now, what they did is they garnished his check. So and they were only making like $13,000, right? Now, if you read the newspaper article, it was $13,000 for 3 years, okay? Now, I don't know where you do math, but that ain't nowhere close to 60,000. But it gets better. Do you know what he did when he offered to give his paycheck? He went and increased his federal and state taxes.
So
when he got his refund, you didn't get as much money as you thought you were getting. Now, did you, taxpayers? So these are the games. And yes, I have all the articles and I'm calling it all out, and I really could care less, because at this point, somebody has to stand for the people. So for me, I'm putting it all out here to say there's not going to be anyone more transparent than me. I am going to figure out where taxes have gone, why people haven't, and I'm going to look at all the elected officials and see why we're not paying what we're supposed to be paying. You know, we did a post, and that post shows that the elected officials, their property taxes are going down. Ours are going up, or they're staying the same. How can that be?
Yeah, well, Brad's up there chuckling because he likes to smell a Republicans in the morning.
It's like the
burning.
South Park where they reveal everybody's browser history.
Yeah.
And everybody just goes insane and starts fighting each other.
Yeah. So believe me, there is an entire team that is working as quickly as they possibly can to make sure that I'm not voted in. But for me, I win because now I have educated voters. Educated voters are the most dangerous voters. I encourage everybody, if you don't believe me, go to My Case Indiana. This is a great search engine. Go in there and type in Robert Todd Cole. The reason why he does not have his first name on the signs, all of his signs just say elect Cole. He doesn't want you to look him up. Now, what's going to make this even better real quick is 10 years ago, Russ Willis ran against Jennifer Cole. He put out a postcard. It's on my Facebook page talking about how they're delinquent in their taxes, how they don't pay they're in foreclosure. He puts all this on a postcard and he puts it out. And fast forward 10 years, they're still doing the same thing. And now you support him to run for the Republican Party?
That's how it works, baby. That's how it works. Okay, I see both of our other guests are still backstage. I see Devin. Devin, are you paying attention? Nod your head. I'm going to bring them out here. Hold on, Tiff. I'm going to bring them all out here because they were so good to stay.
My team knows I'm off the chain.
There we go.
Right there.
Team
You need to
Madison
vote for
County.
those guys right there. They need to win. So you can take that magic 8-ball and put it where you don't want it, because these two got to win. She's got to take out
Let's see if
Rich
that's
Boy.
correct.
He's got to take out Gardner.
Outlook
and me,
good.
I'll just walk
Outlook
right.
good. Outlook good. That's what it said. So,
Outlook good.
yeah, you
Right
got
there.
3 out of
Whoa.
positive things. I'm going to go with it. So But hey, we want to thank you for coming on. This has been a great show. I know that people in Madison County are watching, and I know, Catherine, you helped set this up with our 3 installments of Burning the Bridges of Madison County. And you know what? As your reward, we are not going to make you endure the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory.
I want to say something. So I know that we have Larry Savage in the comments. Does anybody have anything they'd like to put out there about him? I see him in the comments.
Who wants to do it?
Larry Savage. Now, who is Larry Savage?
Larry Savage is running for Congress.
Okay.
Right. Devin, you want to?
Well, he's running in the 5th district. That's the race with Victoria Sparks, Chuck Goodrich,
Madison County.
Mark Hurt. There's another guy who's a veteran, and Mr. Savage. So I saw him in the comments, and I wanted to take the opportunity to recognize him because there's no such thing as bad publicity. And
that's very good, Tiffany, that you mentioned that, because Larry, if you want to come on the show next week, we have Mark Hurt coming on and John Jacob coming on. And
boom, there you go, Larry. He said he wanted on. I saw it in the comments.
John, you will love Larry because he's the kind of candidate that you will get behind. He's blue collar, he's working man, he's common sense,
and he's savage.
And he's called out Russ Willis over and over again.
Oh, I like him.
He does.
I tell you what, if Russ Willis could frown any harder, he'd probably pull a jaw muscle. I mean, I'm telling you what, that dude is not a nice person word. I'm sorry.
Well, we're coming and we're not going away.
So okay.
I love you guys.
And the Democrats,
Lisa, you're on mute. Lisa, you're on mute.
And the Democrats in Madison County are enjoying watching the Republicans go head to head against each other.
Oh yeah,
well, that's what you're talking about. It's democracy in action. You know.
Anyway, Brad. Well, Lisa, what were you going to say?
Well, what I was going to say, you ask about Larry Savage, and he is a down to earth. He is honest. He is passionate. He is a go-getter. He is one of the people that has boots on the ground and is working for Madison County. So he will be, that's awesome that you guys would have him on, but he is a good guy and he cares about Madison County. So I see you, Larry. Good job.
And here,
okay.
Here's the thing I want to just share with you. We are no longer a democracy in Madison County.
We're a constitutional republic.
Do you know what we are?
Statist fascist.
We are a kleptocracy.
Sounds like a monarchy.
Have you ever heard of kleptocracy?
Yeah, that's where you want to steal my joy.
Right? Where corrupt leaders use political power to take your money, land, and fund themselves, friends, and families. And there really isn't any legal punishment for it. Simply put, the government are by thieves who loot public money and resources for their own gain. That is what Madison County is, and that's what this team sitting in front of you is getting ready to clean up. We are going to put this back to the people.
And it looks
what I was going to call it? I was going to, when you said, what is Madison County? I was just going to say dysfunctional.
That it is that too. And it silences you
too.
Yep. So that's cool. And you obviously have people that are running for precinct committee man in our viewership tonight, and somebody running for the U.S. Congress. So Larry, I would say send your information to mouthwashtalkshow@gmail.com, and I will put you on the docket for next week, and we'll go from there. You and Mark Hurt are running for the 5th. John Jacobs running in the 6th. So we just call it the U.S. We'll call it the us show. So U.S. Congress show. Well, we thank you for coming on. I knew this would be a good show, and I named it right. Fixing the Bridges in Marion County. So
Madison County.
Marion County is its own bear, John.
Yeah, I know.
Marion County is a flood zone.
My Freudian slippage. So and send the losers down.
Knowing things about that, Tiffany. Leave it alone.
What?
Leave Madison County alone. Stop.
No, Marion County's in a flood zone.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still fighting the flood zone down here. I wear my high pants. All right, folks. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to play the little thing. So get your tinfoil hats out, you other
characters. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, before you go, tomorrow I'll be going over all the financials for all of Madison County elected officials on the Bilbrey Show, and you just wait to see what I'm pulling out of those financial records. People got billboards up, and they said they didn't spend any money.
You do not want to be on the wrong side of Dr. Callahan, Lord.
Yeah, that's right. We call her. You remember what was that with Clint Eastwood? Dirty Harry Callahan. He was. Yeah, we're gonna call.
Wow.
John, are we able to jump, or are you guys doing your
What's that?
Well,
Oh
we're
yeah,
gonna
no,
fill
we're,
it-
you guys can go.
Okay,
just
I gotta go feed the animals.
well, look
Yeah.
at that.
Children.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
gonna
going to feed? Are you going to feed the elected officials in place right now?
Oh dear.
No, my
I
goats
think
and
I better
horses.
play. I'm going to cut you off. You guys have done so well, but here's the preview for the conspiracy theory. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, y'all, it's time for the conspiracy theory, so you better get your tinfoil hat out and let's see what's going on this week.
Okay. I lost one of my antennas. This is bad. So,
Yeah, I lost the whole darn thing. I've got to build a new one.
we're just glad to have you on, Lucy. I know you've been building prom dresses and everything else. So there you go.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I moved.
Yeah,
my
maybe I'll
office
post a picture.
downstairs. Oh yeah, what does your prom dress look like, Lucy?
Beautiful. My son's girlfriend is just gorgeous. She has fair skin and red hair and
Wait a second. You made a prom dress for your son?
his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
We
You
went
made
shopping
it for
with
his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Well, what a
Wow.
nice mom. Did it
I-
have easy
I think I
access?
couldn't like you more.
Did it have an easy access thing to it, or did you?
No.
No, it has secret invisible zipper.
Haven't you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that
probably has a
term? Off like a
combination
prom
lock.
dress. I mean, it's like, hey, we're off like a prom dress. I heard another one is like, funny one. So never mind.
That doesn't make me happy, John. Stop
Well,
that.
the prom's over, isn't it? Is the prom over
Yeah.
now?
It is. It was
Yeah,
last
okay.
Saturday. Yeah.
We'll know in 4 to 6 weeks. So I think it's
We'll have a
beautiful
September
that you
baby.
made her prom dress.
We're terrible. We're terrible. I've gone too long on the show. You get me up past 10 o'clock, I'd say
It'd
bad
be a
things.
Pisces, so we have to stop that right now.
Oh yeah, wait. They always got to remind me of
The banner?
the banner. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Our loyal listeners, they want us to be around for at least one more show. This is our 169th show. Unbelievable.
Oh, next week's a big week.
That's
170.
Yeah, we're gonna have.
I've been saving that one dime each episode, John. So pretty soon.
You're 10. That's 10 times more than you're getting.
Well, you can at least send us a penny for every episode.
We should be able to get that. I need to start doing some better here because we had 50 people watching and we still got 40, even though this crazy part of the show is going on. I think they want to see what kind of train wreck's coming on. So anyway, and our audience, this is like the after hours thing. They get a little gnarly, a little
punch drunk.
Well,
Yeah.
can I have them vote? Because mine's not a conspiracy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
I have like a social question because I went through the McDonald's drive-through in town and it has two windows or it has two drive-through like menus, like the
Right.
walkie-talkie things. Well, okay, so I came up to it. Sorry.
He's got a diagram and everything.
Damn Democrat.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
So, yeah, like hang on. So when I came up, there were two cars already waiting. And this guy was ordering, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, am I a jerk for just going into the second drive-through lane?
That's
No.
appropriate behavior.
That's what you're
It's
supposed to
appropriate,
do.
right?
It is a very appropriate behavior. When you see somebody else messing up, you're supposed to take charge.
Okay. Now, would you have honked at them or tried to alert them and tell them to move? Or
I figure they already know they're stupid and they're dealing with that in their own
Do
lives.
they
so I'm
already
not
know
gonna
they're
complicate
stupid?
them. Yeah.
They don't know
Well,
they're stupid.
Hungry
You
people
know,
are different though.
So
You
who
do
was
know about
honking at
Senate
whom?
Burger.
Who was honking at whom?
nobody honked, but so I got up to the front window. Like I went into the second lane.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
counted 10. I counted to 10 and then I went. But when I got to the front, or when I got to the first window, the lady said, "Oh, is this your order?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh, well, sometimes they get, out of order." And I said, "Yeah, because people are morons, then they don't go into both lanes." And you know what she said? She said,
What?
"Yeah, but people cut too."
that's not cutting.
Oh, but I've seen them
I
do
think
this.
she was talking about me, like that I was the one who cut.
She
Did
is
you call her
Republican.
out on
cut.
it?
How do you cut in that line? Like that's not.
Yeah, it's not very scientific, but I've had them, Brad.
Brad, when you get into the world of like minimum wage, you just gotta let it go, man. Like get your sandwich and go.
No,
Well, that's
I mean,
$16 an hour nowadays. That
but
ain't
it's the
minimum
car.
wage.
No, it's not the employees at all. Like really, like that I'm mad about.
No, it's not the
Overall.
employees. Sometimes it's the mindset because it's like you're thinking, I just want to get something to eat quickly. And there's just a lot of
But
things.
that's
going
not
on.
like why isn't that the other two cars mindset? Like if you're really hungry, Why would you wait when you see an open lane?
Can I defend the picking of the lanes based on criteria that you may not have considered? Because I often drive an E350 extended van with 10 cylinders, by the way. That thing calls.
Yes.
And so I often choose the outside lane, even if there are more people there, because it's more convenient for my turning radius.
Well, and that's very convenient. That was not the case
that was
with any of
deep.
these vehicles.
And so, Brad, I've seen them do, like, we've had 5 people in line because, you know, when you get up there, you can decide which way to go.
There is a moment where it splits.
Yeah, but this one dude went around everybody and went that thing. And it's like, oh, now there's going to be
No. There needs to be a
could you have
wishbone
gone
split.
inside? I mean, like, it's 2024. Nobody goes inside.
Oh,
You know
I
what
usually
it is?
get
Not inside, but inside lane. I call
Curbside's
that.
the way to go.
No,
yes, it
I
is.
do the mobile app.
Because they tell you to move up anyways because the fries are
Yeah,
never
park it. Remember that in the 80s? Park it.
I don't remember the 80s.
No one remembers that. Oh, I am that old.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, all I remember is 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, special onions on a pesky seed
Wait,
bun.
wait.
That's all I
First off,
remember.
remember it was where's the beef? And then it was like park it.
Oh, that's
I
Wendy's.
don't remember park it.
You don't
gotta look this up.
That's Wendy's.
Somebody help me.
I have an additional theory, and that is, you know how people that have nothing to do want to do it with you? So perhaps these people were all lined up because part of their agenda was to blame being in the drive-through line for their internet surfing and texting. So it was actually more convenient in their life for them to continue to waste time on their phones, and they'd rather be on their phones in a line.
This is
That's the most brilliant thing I've ever heard. Just somebody who has nothing to do, but they want to do it with you.
at least you feel special there. So
Wow.
Brad, that really isn't a conspiracy. That's more of a public service question announcement.
Well,
message.
because I think we should all have the same answer too. Like, I don't want there to be a debate. This should be one thing that we all just agree on so we can move forward.
Yeah, in Indianapolis, you'll get shot for that. I am not kidding.
We could tag them with like a little red dot on the back of their vehicle. And then I want to do some correlating data because I bet they're the same people that can't navigate rounders.
Yeah, the roundabout. It's the same thing.
Well,
They're
those
probably-
flock cameras are pretty good. I'm pretty sure we can tap into those.
Oh, here we go down in the
Only if
weeds.
they have outstanding warrants. You know, everybody wants to
dang.
watch the
Well, we got a new jail up there in Anderson we can send them to.
crime, and they don't know what the H is going
It's already
on.
full though, John. That's
already 80% full. We don't even have
Yeah.
a bill yet.
God, that was
I think we need
crazy
to put
to
them in
hear.
tents, whatever.
They
So,
could like
who's got?
stop
You
and
see, you got bail us out of this. We got to get. This show has come to us. Oh, you got something?
Well, I guess I do, but I mean, it's not really a conspiracy. It's just a report on Congress. Again, you know, they're throwing us up the
I
river.
don't feel bad anymore now. Okay.
Well, okay, so I guess here's how I could position it as a conspiracy. Congress wants to ban TikTok because it's dangerous for the Chinese to have our data and intrude into our lives and our privacy, right? But at the same time, they just signed so that they don't even need warrants to get any data from us. And very disturbingly, I've seen a lot of my timeline recently because, you know, I'm in an age group where I've got a lot of friends that, like me, have teenage drivers, where the parents are starting to get letters that their insurance rates are going up because their teenage drivers have had their iPhones connected to the system, and the iPhones have reported on them, and probably the droids as well, right? But they've been snitching on the teenagers to the insurance companies. So the insurance companies apparently are buying this data about how fast.
How do they know if they're the passenger or the driver?
I
don't think that they care. But that is a very good point. That's a conspiracy in and of itself.
Difference, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wow. Well, you know, it's the Big Brother is 1984 is coming true. You think about what we're watching on TV now in 10 years, we'll be doing. So
what did the Simpsons have? That's how we know. It was on
or
the Simpsons.
what was the other one? Seth MacFarlane, that other show. What was that?
South Park?
Family Guy.
Family Guy. You know, they're all predictors. So another one I heard is they're going to start doing speed limits that vary according to the traffic. And so now that's probably going to lead to
that's probably too complicated. Yeah. They got red dots on their car, man. They can't handle variable speed.
Yeah, that's right. A variable. Yeah. So I don't know how that somehow it's going to work.
A paintball. That's it. That's how I can get the red dot on their car.
Yeah,
The paintball gun.
we're going to see Lucy in the news very soon for this experiment. So, Tiffany, did you say you had something there?
I had a conspiracy theory, but then I forgot it. So you have to come back to me. I'm so
Oh
sorry.
my gosh! So, Brad, do you have a conspiracy theory other than McDonald's?
No, actually, I did think of one while we were on here. I heard somebody talk about how there was a like a drug epidemic or like a drug problem in Madison County and mental health issues in Madison County. And then I heard that somebody was a pharmaceutical rep that went to Madison County.
Yeah, that was me.
And that used to go there all the time and
peddle her drugs. I mean,
I'm not like trying to say that one thing led to the other.
You got calling me part of the problem.
Yeah, Tiffany's such a good salesperson.
Whatever that is. So
Yeah.
conspiracy.
So if it makes you feel
Conspiracy.
better, so that when I was going to Madison County, I had a diabetes problem, diabetes medicines. Yeah, probably it was part of the problem, but I had diabetes meds, and I think I had Cialis. So you're right. I am part of the problem. I was allowing people to be happy and eat too many sweets without having adverse events to their blood sugar. So yes,
How dare you, Tiffany? How dare you?
Save the world.
Yeah.
So, well, you know, who would ever thought that Madison County would have been that like that? But I think honestly,
I just love how long they've been watching them. Like, I love when they say that they've been attending these meetings for like 4 years. Like, I try to think of like what I've been paying attention to for like the last couple of years, and to know that they have that kind of laser focus on a lot of stuff, it seems like is nice to see.
But Brad, that's how you're able to make change. So I'm part of Fishers One, and you know, to get our school board candidates elected, to get people appointed to different roles in the city, and then to get me elected. I mean, that's years of planning and understanding the system and waiting for those opportunities and preparing candidates. And they have done everything right. Everything.
I hate how long of a game it is, though. Like,
it is a long game. I mean, life is a
they said it's not
marathon.
until March that they said that they would even be able to
Life
call
is
for a vote or something like that. Like,
yeah, life's a marathon. Think about,
but
I mean, like, think
geez.
about those people. Think about hunters. I mean, when you lay in the ground and cover yourself with leaves and lay there for a freaking unicorn to come by and shoot it. I mean, like, hunters.
It's like you and the Bigfoot. What are you talking about? We don't have to have a hunter.
Oh, so somebody, I don't know if it was Robert or Thor, somebody pointed out that instead of Bigfoots, I should be looking for Littlefoots. And if I was looking for Littlefoots, I would probably
You'd be better off. So, well, we got one person tricked. Cindy thinks it's a great show. So I'm trying to think what conspiracy that I could have here. There's just so many that I could have.
Just little feet. All over.
Bigfoot pirate, peg leg. So I don't have any conspiracy theory. You guys warned me out tonight. I can't do it. I'm done. I'm done. It's just too much. It's been. You guys did a great job asking questions. You always do.
Oh, well, wait, John. Have you seen about Ryan Webb and like the crap he's taken from somebody else on? There's like a whole Muncie page thing going on, and it's like a battle between him and like the runner. Like, people are tired of it, but they're looking forward, I think, to this being over. For
between who and who? It
was between Ryan Webb and I can't remember the last name.
Is that Ryan who used to be the girl?
Yeah, no, that he identifies as a Native American woman.
Right.
That was class.
And
how did that go?
And all of that stuff is kind of coming back to,
haunt him.
It's coming back up because it's around an election. So
okay,
is he on the ballot?
Yeah,
he's running as a county commissioner. Is that correct again?
I think so.
So how's that race look, Brad? I mean, that's close to your area, isn't it? I mean, is that something?
No idea. I have no idea.
Can we get them on the show?
Well, we can, but it's going to be after the primary because I already stacked up our 30th show with people.
Extra show.
Oh no, one afterwards because
John need you, John. John, you give a voice to the candidates who don't have a ton of money. They don't have name recognition. We're coming up against a primary. John, if you care about changing Indiana, You need to do an extra.
All right,
show.
you got them. All right, anybody that's still watching, if you got somebody else, I mean, we're doing a special show for Jamie Rittner. All she did was ask. Mouthwashtalkshow@gmail.com. Send me your information.
You need to be doing the show every day until the primary.
Well, if I do the show every day, that
7
means you're doing the show every day. This isn't a John thing. It's like
Don't volunteer me.
Yeah, don't volunteer Lucy.
We'll get different people on the panel.
Me.
Yeah, we'll do a volunteer. You know, we've had Jordan on. You know, we've got Jacob. We got all sorts of people that have been on before. Maybe we could commandeer some other people. I'll do it. I mean, you know, that's what we do. We give everybody's voice, and we may not agree, but we give them a voice. So there you go. I mean, we let all sorts of people come on.
Yeah, and there is an art to respectful disagreement, and I think that this show does a really good job of showing how we can all have different views and respect them. And we don't agree with them, but we all know that Brad's crazy. And I mean, you know what, Brad?
Well,
and
he's just a White Sox fan.
Brad, it's not your politics. It's not how you align. It's not the beer that you drink. It is the cat walking in the background. And I think everybody we've ever had on the show, when there's a cat walking in the background, everybody's like, they're crazy.
Yeah, the Matrix is going. Yeah, the Matrix. So it's like there's a glitch in the Matrix, and that's our show. So
that's it.
But so we got, and what we have after this. So, on the 7th, we're going to have, I don't know, maybe we'll get Blair Engelhardt on, or somebody that, could do some breakdown of the election.
If you reach out to Blair right now, he would, if you said, hey, Blair, I'm going to do a show tomorrow, he'd be on it in a minute.
Oh, he'd have Raju on there doing his jingle. Red shades of red, white and blue. Raju.
I told him that if he didn't do a video like We Are the World, he's missing an opportunity.
He's missing out on it, yeah. Hey, that's going to be one interesting.
Who is for you? I mean, that should have been a We Are the World moment. Oh my gosh. Exactly, right?
We are the world. All right. Well, we've gone way longer than usual.
With you, Lucy.
We are approaching the record of this show being the length. Yeah, us old folk, we're getting tired. You young folks, you're probably going to go out to drink some Red Bulls and some Goldschlager or whatever you guys do these days.
Young people like Brad.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Yes,
it's late. I got to work tomorrow, man.
All right, well, that's our cue for
ending
this fine show. So, oh my goodness! All right, well, tune in for the 7:30 special. It's a good thing I got the buttons here. I almost pushed the conspiracy theory on accident again. And I accidentally had Cassie go off at 7 p.m. tonight instead of 8, because it's all I got to do is push the buttons and I don't have to do anything. It's like Ronco.
We have a problem in the chat, John.
What's that?
Devin has multiple cats.
What? Uh-oh. Put that up there. Multiple. Well, you got to, he's got a farm. If you don't have multiple cats, you're going to have multiple rats.
Well, hopefully they're outside cats. They're feral and they're outside. Oh, barn cats. All right. That's better.
Yeah, we got that orange cat. I've caught him twice in the squirrel trap. Oh, by the way, I'm up to 14 squirrels in the relocation program, if anybody asked.
How are your chickens?
They're doing great. They're out there chickening away. They survived the eclipse and everything. So they're all good. Laying eggs and all that.
I'm thinking about getting a cat, like a declawed cat from the Humane Society.
Get a feral cat.
No, I'm not going to declaw. I'm going to rescue a cat.
Oh, we could do it. We could do declaw live on the air. I got pliers. We could do it right here on the air. I could pluck them out of there. It's all good. We can do it in the conspiracy theory section.
Devin, are your cats declawed? I mean, I don't need a feral barn cat that you put in a shoebox and bring to my house.
So here we are doing this is such a benevolent show. We're doing pet adoption right here.
As long as they're declawed, I will take a cat if it's declawed, and I'm allergic to cats. So that's my commitment to rescued animals.
There you go. All right. On that note, we're going to end this show before Lucy falls asleep live on the air.
I am.
She made a self-falling off prom dress for her son's girlfriend. I love it.
I really did.
Wait. One more 8-ball question. Did Lucy's son get lucky on the prom? Let's see.
Better not.
He got lucky when he was born to me.
Outlook, not so good. Outlook, not so good. There you go. But the 8 ball is sometimes right. So we'll see about that. All right. This is enough of this foolishness. We will see you next week. We got another excellent show. Thank you, Cass, for coming on here for no pay and really a lot of appreciation, though. I mean, I can feel the appreciation on my part coming to you. So we'll see you again next week, folks.
Make sure you vote in the primaries.
Yeah. Advice from Tiffany.
Yeah.